Hey everyone, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for visiting. I had a request from Miss Patty O'Malley to ask if I could make some tags using my new snowman stamps. So I thought I would share two tags with you on this video. One of them is made using the watercolor image that I did in my previous video, and the other one is one that I did prior to the release of the stamps. So just to take a look at the two stamp sets that I'm going to be using on my tags, it's Cozy Wishes and Charming, and these are both out of stock currently, but they'll be back in about a week. So stay tuned for those, I guess. So here are the tags that I made. First up is the one from Cozy Wishes. Now, I think I shared this tag in the release video, the launch video that I did, but I thought I would share it here as well. And I think he fills the tag so nice. This was one of my Impression Obsession dies, and it is about 2 3/4 wide by 3.5 or so inches tall. So just to kind of give you a size perspective if you're looking for a similar tag shape, but also I am working on bringing some of my favorite dies back in stock. So stay tuned for that info. But anyway, the snowman here is stamped on one of those dies that has the beautiful stitching up the top, and you can see how nicely he fills the tag. Now this one was stamped in memento ink, black memento ink, and was colored with alcohol markers, and then I did add extra detail around the outside edges behind the snowman to give that turquoise sky, and that was done using colored pencils. So the image itself was done with alcohol markers, and then the background was done with color pencil. And then I did add distress ink around the outside edges to give it that lovely toasted brown look that I like so much. And so I think he looks so cute on a tag. And then all of my tags are symmetrical. So when you die cut them, you can die cut them a front and a back, and you can sandwich them back to back, and then they're perfectly lined up. So you have a nice looking tag on the front side and a nice looking tag on the back. So that's one of the things that I was specifically proud of for all of my tag designs. So, but there's that one, Patty. And then the one that I created using the watercolor image that I did using Charming is this tag. And this is another one of my old IO dies, one of my tags. And it has the little reinforcer decorative top here. And it also comes with a fishtail banner, or sentiment banner as well. But here he is. I just die cut him using that tag die, and I did add a couple extra little stamping details and some details with a colored pencil to his scarf. But that's it. You saw me do everything else to him in the video previous to this one. And then I also did stamp some of those snowflakes behind him there as well. And then because my tag again is symmetrical, I was able to die cut another one and have a really nice tag on the back side of my tag and a really nice one on the front. So, and then I did stamp the buttons, and then I stamped the sentiment, and I kind of foobarred the sentiment stamping right there, but that's okay. It's handmade. It doesn't need to be perfect. So, but you can see how the top of this tag folds over, that little decorative piece folds over. So I really love this tag. Also on the list for bringing back, so stay tuned. But these are the two tags. I hope that's helpful for you, Patty. And then also I wanted to mention too, I had a couple questions when I mentioned on my previous video this little tiny poem that comes in the Charming set. Let's see, where did I put my stamps? Here, there. So this little tiny stamp up here in the top corner is actually a little poem that I wrote, and it is super, super small. It's not meant to be a standalone sentiment like these are. These are, you know, larger text that you would use as a sentiment on a card. This one is super small, and it's just meant to be something that you can add to your card as a detail in the background, or you can even add it as a detail on your foreground image as well. So here you can see where I stamped it in the background there, just for a little bit of interest. And you can actually read it. Maybe if you have your readers on, but it says, twigs for arms, a carrot nose, charcoal eyes, and a cheerful pose. Snowman, oh, build a snowman, sing for all to hear, for winter comes around each year. That's what the little poem says. So there it is used on the background. And then I had mentioned in my previous video that if you mask off your snowman, you can actually stamp it so that it's on his body, but not on the background. So here on this card, you can see that I stamped it on his hat, but it doesn't overlap or extend past his hat into the background. And here I stamped it on his side, like maybe he's got some tattoo verse. But there you can see I stamped it on his side, but I masked his body in the background so that it didn't extend beyond him into the background. And then I stamped it here on his pants too. So I'll show you another one. And I was going to add this text into the stamp. So when you stamped Charming, you got the text, regardless of how you stamped it. It was just in the text. And then I thought, well, maybe I want to put it else, you know, I want to put it in different places. Maybe sometimes I want it on his hats, and maybe sometimes I want it on his pants. So that's why I decided to make it a separate stamp in the set itself. So, and then here you can see on this card, I stamped it on his side again. And then on this side of his pants, in the previous card, I had stamped it over on this side. And in this card, I stamped it over on this side. And I even put some on his scarf. So I really love the little details of that type of an image in a set that you can use to add personal interest and make your cards personal. So here you can see I stamped it in the background, and it really blurred out because when I spritzed this with water and with my glitter spray, it made that ink kind of fade into the background a little bit, so it kind of fades away. And then same with my little snowflakes. I had stamped those in blue ink too, and they just kind of faded into the background to make it just a very hint of something in the background. So that's how I used it on this card. And then finally on this card, you can see I stamped it in the background, and you can see where I would have had to mask the snowman himself instead of the background, so that this particular stamp didn't overlap with his pants. See, and so this one here, it would have overlapped with his scarf. So I had to mask off the scarf of the snowman to make sure that that stamp didn't stamp into my image. So I thought I would pull out my stamps and show you what I'm talking about and what I'm using. And because I, cut a mask and use it so often, I just stick it to the back, or you can even actually put it inside the packaging if you'd like. But basically, you're going to want to stamp the image on some sticky paper. You can use this. It's like it's just a roll of masking paper, and it has all over sticky on the back, kind of like a giant Post-it note, but on a roll. And I've had this for literally eons, probably 20 years. So I don't know if that's available anymore. But you can also get Post-it notes, which are super sticky, and they have all but one small edge of the Post-it note is sticky. So you can buy these and use them as well, and they work just like that roll of white paper. And in fact, I think you can get these in different sizes too. But this is the 3x3 size that I have. So the entire back of this Post-it note is sticky, except for this very, very front edge right here. So look for those if you want to try masking. But what you do then is you stamp the image on your mask paper, and then you cut it out on the line. And that leaves you with your image. See, and I cut it out right on the line. And it also leaves you with the background. So if you want to mask the snowman, if you want to stamp in the background and you don't want it to overlap into your snowman, you want to mask the snowman to keep the stamp from stamping over that image. So now see, if I stamped my stamp here, it's going to stamp on the background, but it's not going to stamp on his pants. And then likewise, if you want to stamp on him, but not the background, that's when you use this piece and you put it over him like this, and you're masking out the background basically. And then when you stamp, you've got to line it up pretty nice. You want to make sure the lines meet. But so then when you stamp on him, see, the stamp is not going to go onto that background because it's going to go onto this masking paper instead. So I hope that's helpful, and I give it a try. It's super fun, and having a little tiny stamp like this in your sets, I think just makes it really, really fun to do this type of a technique. And it's so quick and easy, and lets you really personalize your cards. So there you can see how I cut the snowman out of the mask. I didn't even bother to cut his arm off. So see, he's left with arms, but on the snowman mask itself, no arms. So, but anywho, thought I would share that with you guys, and hopefully that's helpful for you. But Patty, thank you so much for the request to share some tags. I know this is not very many, but at least it gives you an idea for one of each of the stamp sets. So I think they are adorable, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your guys' projects made with these two fun new stamp sets. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!